Earlier this year, the Australian Fertilizer Spreaders Association approached Bill Malcolm and myself to have a look at the Accu-Spread program and see if it was feasible to add economics into the model. And currently it's based on minimising, or not minimising, but optimising the variation across the spread. And the Fertilizer Association decided that Spreaders Association decided it might be useful if they could talk to farmers about what that change in variation or the reduction in variation was actually worth to them in terms of gross margin or however else Bill and I decided to go about the analysis. So over the year we've spent a fair bit of time looking at how best to do this, and in the end we've come to the conclusion that you can use the model as an indicator of the impact on gross margin. You can take into account things like the nitrogen response function, or for that matter any other nutrient response function. The one we used was nitrogen. You can take into account expected yields. You can take into account the spread patterns. And by using those calculations combined with the cost of spreading, we found that, for example, with nitrogen spread on wheat in the southern Riverina, a farmer could reasonably expect the Accu-Spread bout width to improve their gross margin by $25 to $40 per hectare over the gross margin they would achieve if it was spread at a full width. So by limiting your bout width to a level where your variability across at the extremities of that bout width is no more than 15% of the average across the bout width, instead of spreading at the full bout width, full potential bout width, the added gross margin can easily be $25 to $40 per hectare greater. Clearly, Accu-Spread provides a very useful tool for farmers. If an individual farmer wanted to tailor it to their personal use, that could also be done, but that becomes an agronomic issue because every field, every farm is different. All the nutrients are different, there are interactions between nutrients. So there are many variables to take into account to fine-tune it. But what is clear, the answer we came up with is robust. You can be confident that by limiting the bout width, limiting the variation, you can increase the gross margin substantially.